Hi, my name's Jane McCallion. I'm Features Editor at IT Pro. Welcome to this panel discussion on edge computing. I'm joined by Adam Shepherd, Reviews Editor, and Connor Jones, Staff Writer. Welcome. So Adam, first of all, can you give us an overview of what exactly edge computing is?
Well, edge computing is a broad umbrella term that is used to describe any processing or data analysis operations that happen at the edge of the network. So, as opposed to the center of the network where your data center lives, or possibly a cloud-based infrastructure estate, the edge is things like device endpoints. It's things like edges of the networks in remote installations, factories, for example, oil rigs, that kind of thing. And edge computing is effectively the process of using those endpoints as a hub for compute operations and data analysis, rather than shuttling everything back and forth between your data center and those endpoints.
And Connor, who have been some of the biggest players in this area so far?
So in terms of the hardware kind of side of things, we've got HPE, we've got Dell EMC, the two big players, and as well as Cisco that are doing the networks hardware kind of things, like network switches, so edge-specific network switches. But of course, you've also got the cloud platforms that are driving the technology too. Got Microsoft Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. We're also making a load of edge-specific implementations for their platforms. I think notably, we've got Microsoft that have got around 300 patents specifically for edge computing.
So Connor, can you tell me where might we see some edge computing in use?
So edge computing is going to benefit all businesses that process data and have data generation points within their facility. So for example, manufacturing is a big one, factories like Adam said. But I think the most widely used example in literature is offshore facilities such as oil rigs. So obviously when you've got offshore facilities and internet connection between the facility and the headquarters that usually processes the data usually isn't typically that great. So edge computing is really going to benefit these guys because you can take the large amount of raw data that these facilities are generating, and you can process that at the edge at the point of data generation, filter all the unwanted data, and only send the usable data back to headquarters where they can create actionable insights using it.
What's the benefit of processing all that data at the edge then, rather than just sending everything back to the data center, either of you?
So obviously it comes back to the location between the headquarters where they are processing the data and forming those business insights, and the distance between that and the offshore facility. So obviously with raw data and large amounts of it, it's not exactly viable to send that large packet of data that huge distance when you don't really need to.
It's also the economics of the cloud also comes into it, particularly if you have large file sizes. As Connor says, public cloud platforms generally will be metered on the volume of data transfers. So if you are sending larger file sizes than you need to up and down to your public cloud infrastructure, that will incur more cost than if you strip out the unnecessary data and send as little as possible between your edge networks and your public cloud deployments. So processing more at the edge can really save you a lot of money in terms of your public cloud costs in the long run.
I have also heard that it's useful in terms of preventative maintenance and doing things literally on site right there and there, making small adjustments. Can you tell anything about that?
Yeah, so IoT is a huge use case for edge computing. As Connor says, manufacturing is a really, really big field that this is being explored and deployed in. In a lot of cases, it's factory machines and assembly line equipment that's fitted with IoT sensors and diagnostic equipment that takes readings from the machines, and then those readings are processed on site by edge computing hardware in order to detect when equipment faults are likely to occur and then those can be remedied on site before they happen and have an impact on production schedules.
Well, thank you for joining us for this discussion. We hope that you've learnt a little bit more about edge computing. Be sure to check out the rest of our content on this on itpro.co.uk.